As you can see, it's a cold one this morning. The canal's frozen over. Must have been about -3 last night, maybe -4. Still, it should be a nice and sunny day today. People say, does it get cold on a boat? And to be honest, this morning, yeah, it's cold. I mean, we got up and it was 12 degrees, 13 degrees in the saloon, the main cabin. I've banked the fire up. The fire was still lit, but you bank it up overnight, and then obviously as the coals burn down, it gets slightly colder as the fire starts to die. So but I've managed to get the fire restarted again this morning. It was still going, but now it's a raging fire. But even now it's only 15 degrees in the cabin, so you know, there are some realities of it. In the mornings it can be quite cold, and this morning it's bloody freezing.
Sometimes the mushroom vents, when it's really cold outside, they do drip a little bit of water. And if anyone knows of any tray or something that goes underneath, it'd be really handy to have like a little tray there to stop any water drips, but I can't find a design online, so if anyone's got anything, let me know. And I know a lot of people in the UK woke up to snow today, but we didn't get that much here, which is a bit disappointing. A little bit. It's going to be slippy. But the canal has frozen over. Well and truly.
Herbs are going to die.
No, they'll survive. Or herbs. They will. We've even got the Christmas tree out there. And it's surviving. The Christmas tree is surviving, Mark. So far.
Let's just move these beautiful flowers that I brought you. Because I'm a great husband. Right.
What you doing, Mark?
I'm window vacuuming the windows.
There you are.
Because obviously the temperature's colder out there than in here. What happens? You get condensation that builds up, and then it does this horrible thing where it blackens the. So this needs to be revarnished in the summertime or spring.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard wearing marine wood, so it shouldn't damage it, but it's just more of a discoloration.
It needs to be sanded down.
So just sand it down and then you revarnish it. But to try and prevent that, we've got a window vac which we use to systematically suck away any of the excess moisture. And it does work.
It does work.
But if you want to see something good,
Woohoo! Exciting.
I'm out here.
Not your backside then.
Huh? Now this is where you really need your window vac.
Oh dear.
On the prammy.
Crown cover.
Because this, when it melts, drips everywhere. See the ice there?
Yeah. Ice on the inside.
Which is fine. Nothing you can do about it. But if you get your scraper,
And drop all the ice all over the floor.
yeah. It's better that it's on the floor than on the roof, because it means that
Look at me.
it's not dripping all over us when we get out. See it come up.
I see it coming off outside as well. It's falling down from the outside. So we did have a little bit of snow last night.
Yeah, we did. Only a very smattering of snow.
Our first bit of snow. Continuous cruising though. Isn't it?
It is. Totally. Did it come up?
Yeah. And all over my chair.
Ah, well. Who cares? Better off the roof than on the floor, isn't it?
Yeah, totally agree.
Not agree. I can tell from the tone of your voice. Not even slightly condescending. There we go.
Where's little Eric? There he is. What do you think of it, Eric? This is our view out the canal window, and we can hear the ice moving a little bit. You can see it vibrating and just starting to crack because there's a boat coming through. You can hear the noise it makes. Wow. You should see this ice, Mark. Just sliding, it's just pushing it along. Go on. Yeah.
You filming?
Amazing. Noise it makes. Oh, all our lovely ice has gone. And out of the weed hatch, I've put a bird feeder. So hopefully we might get some little visitors to the bird food today. So hopefully we'll get some little visitors. Done it again. So hopefully we'll get some little visitors to the bird feeder. Right. Hello.
Hello.
This week it's been a good week this week, hasn't it?
Yeah, very good.
We've stayed in the same spot that we were, so where you last saw us.
Yep.
For a few different reasons, wasn't it? The weather, as you will see in the vlog, was pretty bad, wasn't it? The canal had frozen over.
Yep.
On a couple of times. We had the tiniest amount of snow. Which was a bit of a shame.
Yeah,
Just
it
wanted
was.
a bit more.
Tiny amount of snow.
January, dry January is not working.
No, this is blackcurrant juice and lemonade.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
I was preparing for my solo exhibition at the Court Street Gallery in Trowbridge, so that's been really busy. Oh, and we got solar here, didn't we? So
yeah, we did. You'll see as well in the video. There's a bit of solar. It's not a lot, but you know, I mean, on a maximum, on the best day, we generated 17 or 18 watts of solar. Sorry, amps of solar, which is about 200 watts. So you know, I mean, it's never going to solve our problem of having unlimited power. I think we need to, I explain in the vlog, we need to adjust the panels so that they're facing the sun directly. So as you can see, we're generating 10 watts or 0.9 amps at the moment, which is fine. It's, you know, it keeps the batteries at an infinite state of charge, which means that they'll last forever if we carry on at this rate. Oh, you can see now the sun's just gone behind a cloud, so it's dropped to 1.1. minus 15 watts. It highlights the fact that in the winter you need, really, it's not so much about the amount of solar that you've got, it's more about the angle that the panels are at, because at the moment what's happening is that the panels are angled as such that when the sun is low it's skimming off the top of the panels rather than absorbing onto the panel. So we need to find some way of raising the panels up so they're more of a kind of, not a 90-degree angle, but certainly 65 degrees, rather than at the moment we're about 35 degrees. So, but you can see how it fluctuates with the movement of the cloud, and obviously with the you know, the changes in the sun's power. There we go, folks. That's how much solar we're generating at the moment. The sun is in full sight of the panels, and we're generating 17.9 amps, 240 watts, 250. So we're getting between 18 to 15 amps, so roughly 250 to 200 watts, which, as you can see, has put the battery up to 100%. We did charge it from the engine this morning. When we left the boat, we were at 97.8. Now we're at 100%. So it does help in the winter, just not as much as it would do in the summer.
what else? What's the other news we got?
Crime.
Oh yeah, the downside.
Yeah, we did say we'd tell you about some of the downsides
of
continuous cruising, and one of them is crime. There seems to be a spate of people. Now, I don't want to cast any aspersions as to who it is, but you know, people are saying that there's somebody with a cruiser, a GRP cruiser that's going up and down the canal.
Yeah, I don't know if that's true.
We don't know if it's true. No, we don't. But there seems to be.
I think it's more people from the local town.
It could be, but there seems to be the same individuals that are going up and down the canal, and it's at the weekends, so they obviously work during the week, and what they seem to be doing is they seem to be going from sort of Milk House water to Wilcott, off to Pusey, and then they're spotted at Wilcott acting suspiciously, and then somebody will report they've had their boat drained of diesel, and then sorry, and then it goes from there to Honey Street, and from there and so on. So it seems to be staged periodically. So each weekend they're working their way down the canal, and then you'll get to the other end of the canal, and you'll hear people saying sort of Bradford on Avon, and then it will suddenly the wave will come back again. So they're literally systematically just going up and down this stretch of canal, and they're looking for diesel, generators, anything they can take off of the boat. People have had all sorts taken. We were here.
Things that could sell, easy, isn't it?
We were
Bikes and things.
We were here last week, and 2 boats came through, and both of them were at Honey Street, and said that they basically came through and conked out. They just stopped at the canal, just past the bridge, just up there, and they'd been completely drained of fuel. And they said that they knew they had enough fuel in their tanks. They'd been checking their tanks, and then suspiciously they stopped dead in the canal and have to be completely refueled. So we think that someone's going up and down draining the fuel out of boats as well. So,
on the positive side is, I mean, obviously you get thefts in houses, and you may not hear about it as much. But the one thing about the boating community that we really found is if you join the local network, Canal Network Facebook page, very, very quickly there will be postings on there saying, watch out for these 2 suspicious men in a white van, seen at such and such, and everybody looks out, tries to get photos of them so that they can pass it on to police and things. So
yeah, you just got to be careful, because the problem is that, like I've found personally myself, and this is a downside, you are vulnerable if somebody wants to take your stuff on the boat. Then it's very little you can do about it, except for sitting on your boat 24/7, never leaving your boat. But even then at night, people can just walk along the canal and pick stuff off your roof. So that's the downside to it. I mean, there are things you can do. I mean, that's why boaters have dogs. The second thing we've worked out is, although we love a visitor mooring where you've got all the Armco and the neat edges and so on, that means you're accessible from the canal bank, where people can just literally walk up to the side of your boat and pick anything off, or enter the front or the back. Whereas we've noticed that when there's no Armco neat mooring sides, you then tend to moor a bit further out, so at night you can pull your plank in.
You can't get in, can you? So
well, you can't get in, and the banks don't allow you to. So there's a security aspect there, because you're about 3 feet away from the edge of the towpath, and as a result, at night you can pull your plank in and no one can get onto your boat unless they want to get wet feet. And actually, if you think about it, most of the crimes that have happened, well, most of the crime that happens along the canal side is what you call opportunists. So somebody's walking along, maybe they haven't planned it, but they see something, they think, I'll have that. So from that point of view, you can reduce the risks considerably. That said, of all the reports of the crime in the area, we've not been affected. So we've not had anything.
Don't say that. Touch wood. Quick.
Yeah, probably because we've got nothing worth nicking.
The thing is, if you can, and it's not always as easy on some of the boats, you take in as much, anything you don't want to be pinched, take it into the boat and secure it, rather
anything
than
you do want to be
it
pinched,
out.
leave it out. So we've left Eric out a couple of times.
Eric's snoring under the table as we speak, as always.
Left him out a few times and no one's taken him. I don't know why. What could that be?
Wow. He's snoring.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, probably.
We don't leave Eric out, ever.
So that's one of the downsides, unfortunately, of life on a canal. And with the weather the way it is as well, the other thing as well is the mud. You have to get used to mud, don't you?
Good pair of wellies.
Or walking boots.
Needed.
And you have to have an area outside the boat on the stern where you can store your muddy shoes. And it's just a challenge keeping the boat free of mud. But it's nothing different to a house, I suppose.
The nice thing about pram covers, and if anyone's thinking of getting a boat, it's really good investment to get a pram cover, which is a cover that goes over the back of the boat. And for the reason of when it is muddy and raining, you can come in off the canal, take your coat off, take your boots off out there when you're under cover, you're not going to get wet, and then you can come into the boat. If you haven't got that, luxury of that area.
If you're coming straight onto the boat,
You've
wet,
just gotta
cold,
come-
muddy,
Yeah.
and then into the only dry area, which is in the boat,
Everything's getting wet.
everything's getting wet and
muddy.
muddy.
And
what we've also found with the pram cover as well is it's another room. In the summer, you eat up there, you sit up there, you watch the world go by. It's such a delightful place to be. And actually, even on sunny days in the winter, it could be 5 degrees outside, it's the sun shining, it's like a conservatory, so the sun just heats up the pram cover. And because you've got no, you're not open to the elements, it's like being in a tent, you know, it's like being in a conservatory in the middle of on a sunny day. So you can actually have your lunch up there on a winter's day.
it is good.
It is.
We're going to move tomorrow, aren't we?
Yeah, our 2 weeks is up here, so we're going to, well, it's up on Tuesday, but we're going to go a day early.
Yeah. We're going to move. There is a bit of a, because it's very windy today, but there's supposed to be a bit of a clear spell tomorrow and the sun shining. We are a bit fair weather.
Although when we got here, we came in the
It
wind,
is.
as you saw in the last video,
did.
we came in the,
A little bit of
in the
rain.
wind and rain. So,
So yeah, we're going to move tomorrow,
mhm.
a couple of miles, and then
Yeah,
go from there.
and probably film it as we go,
Yeah.
so that you can see it. But yeah, I like moving. I think moving's fun.
We get quite excited, don't we?
We do, yeah, we do. So, but there we are.
Thank you for watching.
Yeah, continue to subscribe as well. Keep subscribing and keep pressing the bell for notifications of any new videos.
Yeah.
Our subscribers have gone up, haven't they?
Yeah,
We've done really
lots,
well.
yeah.
We're really pleased
Yeah.
with the level of subscribers that we've got, considering we are the only wide beam channel.
So hello to all the new subscribers out there.
Yeah, and thank you for your continued support. And well, it just remains for us to say,
See you next week.
yeah, see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.